provided you with data that you can use to better inform your wagering decisions. Thank you for joining us this evening. First of all, I need to let you know about a promo that we're running right now on the BetQL website. You can get 20% off any subscription at BetQL by using the promo code CHAN. We'll be going over some winning picks from this past weekend. The model continues to stay red hot with its 5-star picks. If you want to get access to the 5-star picks, go ahead and subscribe. There are monthly options available. There are weekly options available. There are annual options available. You can choose one sport, 2 sports, or all sports. There are VIP options available. But if you are going to subscribe, use the promo code CHAN, get 20% off, and get access for all picks. Just to give, like I promised, here are some examples of some 5-star NFL winners from this weekend. The model suggested a 5-star bet or pick on under 50 in the Rams-Giants game. That game was absolutely brutal to watch, and the under was hit quite easily in that game. Browns +3 first half. The model recommended that you lay the points with the Browns in the first half against the Cowboys. I was on the full game bet for the Browns, but you would have cashed either way. But the model was correct, and the Browns pretty much had this one in the bag, at least on the first half. This was a bet that was never in any serious jeopardy for the most part. And the model recommended that you lay the points with the 3 points with the Saints against the Detroit Lions. This game, I was on this bet as well. This bet started off with some turbulence. The Saints fell down by 14 points early to the Detroit Lions. But the Lions did what they always do, and that's blow a large double-digit lead. The Saints ended up winning and covering with a little bit. The game did get a little bit tight towards the end, but the Saints did end up covering and winning fairly easily. But those are just some examples of 3 5-star NFL winners from this past weekend. There were some college winners as well. Go to the BetQL website if you're interested in subscribing. But if you are going to do it, use the promo code CHAN, save yourself some money, get 20% off any subscription. My Twitter handle is Ian Lazarin, so if you have a question or you have a comment to make about this show, go ahead and send me a tweet. I do check the live chat to see if you have anything that you want to bring up about the show or about any of the upcoming games. So go ahead and send me a tweet, or you can go, if you're watching on YouTube, go type in a question on the chat, and I'll get to it before this show ends. We don't have too many games on the docket tomorrow. We do have Game 4 between the Heat and the Lakers. The Lakers are 7.5-point favorites in Game 4, with the over-under set at 218.5 points. The Lakers lead the series 2-1. The Heat were able to finally win a game in the series. Jimmy Butler had a 40-point triple-double in Game 3. He broke out, and he was able to lead the Heat to a fairly comfortable Game 3 victory. I think in this series, as with every Heat game, I think the things that you have to look at is how are the Heat performing from the three-point line compared to their opponent, and how are the Heat performing from the free-throw line compared to their opponent. The Lakers, before Game 3, had been taking care of business. In the entire series, the Lakers have outscored the Heat by 33 points from the three-point line. So the Lakers have hit 11 more threes than the Heat thus far in the series. The Heat are only +6 from the free-throw line, and that's certainly not a mark. That's certainly not good enough. That's not a good enough disparity for the Heat to actually have a legitimate chance of winning this series. The Lakers have won the three-point battle in all 3 games, and they've won the free-throw battle in 2 of the 3 games. So it's not like these stats are a result of just one big outlier game where the Lakers got super hot from the three-point line or they just shot a ton of free throws. In fact, the Heat leading from the free throw line is largely due to a huge Game 2 disparity from the free throw line, where the Heat outscored the Lakers by 21 from the free throw line. So the Lakers are actually completely dominating on the metrics, but the Heat were able to pull out a victory last night due to an incredible performance from Jimmy Butler. I still don't see how the Heat are going to actually come back and make this a credible series. I know I've been saying that a lot about the Heat, and I've been wrong each time I've brought up these metrics for the Heat. They've certainly outperformed their regular season statistics and their expectations based on their stats from the regular season. But the metrics just don't look good for the Heat right now against a team as dominant as the Lakers. Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero have only shot around 26% from the 3-point line. They have hit only a combined 10 3-pointers out of 38 attempts. So through 3 games, they've combined for 10 3-pointers. Robinson and Hero have been red hot, or at least shooting incredibly well from the entire playoffs before this series started. I mean, Robinson had shot 40% in the playoffs from the 3-point line on 7.3 attempts per game. Hero had shot 37.8% from the 3-point line on 6.5 attempts per game from the 3-point line before this series started. So the Lakers have certainly defended the 3-point line well against 2 of the better Heat 3-point shooters. And again, it's just tough to see the Heat having a credible chance, not just to cover some of these upcoming games, but to actually win some of them to get back in this series. They're still heavy underdogs, and it's looking right now. The play that makes the most sense right now is Lakers in 5. Hopefully you took that as a series price before. Hopefully you made a bet on Lakers in 5 before the series started, because there's not going to be much value right now in taking Lakers in 5 as a series price, as that's the most likely outcome. What's interesting to me is that the line did drop considerably from games 2 and 3. Games 2 and 3, the line in game 2 was 9.5 points. That was the closing number that I saw at most books. The closing number in game 3 was, I saw some 10-point spreads. I think it was around 10. It was somewhere in the 9.5 to 10.5 range. And now the line has dropped back down to 7.5 for the Lakers in game 4, thanks to the win by the Heat in game 3. It also may be due in part to Bam Adebayo's possible return in game 4. He practiced. He didn't play in game 3, but he did practice with the team before the start of game 3. Adebayo has missed games 2 and 3. He only played 21 minutes in game 1. But I think this is a complete overreaction to Adebayo's potential return. The Lakers have pretty much handled him in the games that the Lakers have played against the Heat this season. Adebayo has scored a combined 31 points against the Lakers in 3 games. I know some of that is skewed by the fact that he only was able to play 21 minutes in game 1, but he was already off to a terrible start. He was 2 for 8 from the field at the time he checked out. So it's highly unlikely that Adebayo had very much to offer in game 1. It makes sense. Adebayo's, for the first time in the playoffs, he's facing an elite defense. He's at least facing a defense that is elite at the power forward and center positions. He's facing guys who are bigger, who are taller than him and bigger than him, in Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and JaVale McGee. Howard's been getting most of those minutes, but for the first time, he's facing trees instead of guys who are smaller, or at least guys he can overpower. Adebayo can't do that in this series, and that's evident by the fact that he's only scored 31 total points in 3 games against the Lakers this season. So I think that's a bit of an overreaction. I think the best play that you're going to make in this game is to lay the points of the Lakers at 7.5. Lay the points of the Lakers in the first half. The Lakers should run these guys. They got their scare in game 3. And the Heat are not shooting well enough from the 3-point line to really make this series competitive. So I think the smartest play in the play that I'm going to be on is I'm going to place a bet on the Lakers at 7.5. I'm going to place a bet on the Lakers first half. I don't think there's much value in the totals in the series, but I think if you are leaning towards a total, I think the under is going to be the way to go. If Adebayo is coming back, that's going to lead to more 2-point shots from the Heat, and this over is going to be hit if one of these 2 teams lights it up from the 3-point line. But the Heat are struggling or not red hot from the 3-point line in this series. The Lakers have been shooting the ball well, but their 3-point shooting is subject to a ton of variance. So I don't think there's much value for on the total in this series. But I will be laying the Lakers in the first half, and I'll be laying with the Lakers for the full game. We'll be back tomorrow for the big data show, same time at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be going over a college football game a couple of college football games for this weekend, and we'll be previewing the Thursday night football game between the star that will feature the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Chicago Bears. So, and I think at the time that we'll be airing the show, the Lakers Heat game should be wrapping up. So we'll have a clearer picture on where that series is headed. Game 5 will be played on Thursday. So before I sign off for the evening, go use the promo code CHAN to get 20% off any BetQL subscription. We talked about some winners that the model churned out this weekend for the NFL. I'm pretty certain the model is going to churn out some winners this weekend as well for college football and for the NFL as well, maybe even for the NBA. But the only way you'll find out for certain is if you subscribe. You can get 20% off any BetQL subscription by using the promo code of CHAN. Congratulations to those of you who laid the points with the Chiefs today. I laid the points with the Chiefs. Unfortunately, the over didn't come through. I know the Falcons Packers game is pending at the moment. But until then, we will see you tomorrow night again at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Stay safe and good luck with your bets until then. Thank you for joining us this evening on the Big Data Show.